Midra, Lord of Frenzied Flame, is a legendary adversary in Elden Ring, embodying the chaotic and destructive power of the Frenzied Flame. His dwelling, Midra's Mats, lies hidden in the abyssal woods, a forbidden realm untouched by daylight and shunned by the horn scent. Midra's story is one of great ambition that led to his ultimate downfall. Once hailed as Sage Midra for his wisdom and mastery of the arcane, he sought to harness the potent power of the Frenzied Flame, a mystical force believed to cleanse the soul of sin and affliction. The flame's transformative properties entice Midra to aspire to become the Lord of Chaos, a title synonymous with burning the world along with the mistakes of the greater will to unite everything and everyone like the crucible that existed before time. Despite his deep understanding and resolve, Midra's attempts to ascend to this esteemed position faltered. He was deemed too weak to fully embrace the mantle of the Lord of Frenzied Flame, a devastating realization that marked the beginning of his tragic descent. It seems clear that if he once coveted the lordship of Frenzied Flame, he no longer does. He seeks isolation to keep the madness consuming him in check, not wanting to succumb to it, nor let others fall victim to it.
The depths of your foolishness!
Nanaya was Midra's lover and true companion. Her presence is felt in the Mats as you come across her dead body next to a torch. Nanaya's torch is made of attaching a dying flame of frenzy to a small spinal column. Nanaya's torch is a somber testament to her enduring love and support of Midra, even in the face of his darkest moments. The torch symbolizes her connection to Midra, who's also the father of her failed newborn. Nanaya implored Midra to endure, a word that became a curse, binding him to his suffering. Despite this, her presence offered a semblance of solace, as indicated by the remembrance of the Lord of Frenzied Flame, which speaks of Midra holding fast to Nanaya's entreaty amidst his agony. Who was at fault for the destruction of the Mats? It was the Hornset. Since the Hornset are people who worship spirits, they forbid the flame's use, as it can destroy spirits and souls alike. This explains why Torrent fears the area. The Hornset forbid the abyssal woods because they feared the Frenzied Flame. They believe Midra has sinned greatly and in turn caused the destruction of his Mats in an act of unparalleled damnation. The barbs that pierce the victims from within wind gently around the blade. I beg you, stop. Haven't I taken enough? Are we not brethren, common in our line? And yet you offer only cruelty. I ask, what crime did great Midra commit? Outside Midra's Mats, the corpses match the sword of damnation and the Hornset's tortured tools. And as you venture into Midra's Mats, you hear his desperate plea.
Leave. Now. Come no closer. No closer. I see. Madness.
Midra's words reveal a man who once sought power but now fears the madness consuming him. In the Mats you can find a spirit. I welcome you, O uninvited guest. But must I warn as you venture in, heed the words of our great master, Midra. Approach not the madness, lest ye succumb. Midra's Mats is a place of philosophy and research filled with books and is somewhat of a library. He and Nanaya were kind masters of the Mats and loved by many within it. The painting on the first illusionary wall depicts Midra's manse before the corruption, suggesting it was a normal place until the frenzied flame took over. Perhaps it was the winter lantern flies that began the infestation of the abyssal woods and were the catalyst to whereby Midra was first exposed to the flame. In the discussion chamber, Midra, a broken man, resides.
Depths of your
The sword embedded in Midra's head holds the frenzied flame's full power in check, something he had willingly endured, despite causing him immense suffering. Midra's final words reflect his torment and love for Nanaya.
I have endured more than enough.
Even after enduring for all this time, and for his love Nanaya, when the Tarnished arrives, he's left with no choice but to give in.
I ask you forgive me, dearest Nanaya.
Midra, Lord of Frenzied Flame, is a challenging boss. He wields a long spear and has a fireball for a head, making his attacks both unique and dangerous. Midra relies heavily on fire-based attacks, dealing extreme high damage. As the Tarnished defeats Midra, his torment ends. Midra was the closest to fully becoming the Lord of Frenzied Flame. However, it seems the Tarnished may be the only true vessel for it. Midra's story in Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, is a cautionary tale of ambition, suffering, and the consequences of wielding powers beyond mortal comprehension. His struggle against the allure of the Frenzied Flame, coupled with Nanaya's enduring presence and the harsh judgment of the Haunted, paints a vivid picture of a world where even the wisest and most powerful are not immune to the nature of fate.